going on, people? Hope it all well, and as per usual, living the dream. Now, I did host a poll on my channel earlier this week or last week, one of the two, I can't remember. It's been quite a few days. On basically what you wanted to see next, because I've already filmed the drive-in and everything, my impressions of it. I'm gonna add a month review after that because it's been a month since I've had the car in its current state. But I've been inundated, and I genuinely mean inundated, with questions about how much it costs, things like that. Some people just curious, maybe trying to count pockets, but quite a few of you are serious about it, especially considering you haven't done mods on your car yet. And you don't want to go down a bolt-on route and then essentially just be disappointed. Not that I'm saying you would be, but in case you were wanting more than what you'd actually get, sort of thing, right? So yeah, anyway, the majority of you voted for the money breakdown, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be as transparent as I possibly can with this. It's eye-opening. But no, I think for me, as you could probably tell with things, if you don't know, then you will know now. If I want to do something, I plan to do it right, or I would like to just get everything done properly, all in one sort of thing. So I did a year's research beforehand, speaking to people that have done builds before, multiple. Although to be fair, that's a topic for another question. That's a topic for another video. Where's I going with this? So yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna go down with it. I've broken it down into 3 segments. We've got essentials, so what it would take for you to do the basic build, to do a basic build properly though, yeah, without cutting too many corners and making sure that the engine's safe and things like that. Supported mods, so your basic supported mods and things like that, and then I put extras as well. Supported mods and extras can be interchangeable in some people's eyes, but it is what it is. It's all good. Actually, wait, before I get into this, right, as you can tell, I got a new hairstyle, right, and I raised this because someone commented on my video quite a few weeks back, and I put it in a little group chat that we've got. They sent shots from my old hairstyle, which was hilarious because I've never heard anyone cuss my hair before. I just thought oh, let me do this now, and then I was filming it and it reminded me of it. So whoever you are, right, who dissed me before, I'm ready for the ammunition and the bullets I'm gonna be receiving for this one. But I like it. Anyway, let's get into it. Actually, wait, a few more disclaimers. I've highlighted a few of the parts that I've bought and a few of the things that I've done. I'm looking over there because my screen's over there, which you'll be seeing soon. In yellow, because the prices vary, and certain things I bought secondhand, other stuff, it depends on where you get it from or who you go to, sort of thing. Also, quite a few of the prices, for example, the labor that I paid was agreed before inflation happened, so you'd pay more than what I paid here, not because I had a special deal or because I'm friends with them or whatever. No. It was just the price that we agreed initially, right? And yeah, anyway, I'm gonna dive into all of that later. So without further ado, let's just jump in, yeah? Okay, so as we can see, this is the essentials, and don't judge me on my Excel skills, right? It's not my strongest suit. But everything you need to see is right here. Now, as you can see, there's a total there of £3,149. But technically, it's essentially what I paid. All of this is what I've paid, okay? And like I said, I've broken it down into essentials, supported mods, and extras, okay? So let's get into the first one. The most important, the K24. You want the K24 A3. Now, there's multiple people that sell K24s. Right, in the UK, they get them shipped from Japan or somewhere in Asia, or even some people from the US, I've heard, and then it's brought here. Cool. Now, I paid £885 for it to be shipped, so bought and shipped. Now, I don't know how much they go for now. I have no clue. I've got to be honest with you. But yeah, it would always be just someone that's like an independent seller or someone on eBay. If there's anyone that's actually interested, I can share the details of the person that I bought my engine from. I think he's still got a few. Very reputable. The transaction was very easy. He sent me a video of the actual head itself, like with the cam cover off, and Honda HQ verified it, and it's fine. Hasn't missed a beat. So yeah, that's the first one. Labor. Now this is another one, which again is in yellow. Yellow meaning variable prices, which basically means that essentially you could be you can get these for different prices or whatnot, right? I paid £800 labor, right, which was amazing, by the way. It's a great deal. That was before inflation. I agree. Again, we agreed this price in 2022. So just bear that in mind. But I did ask them, just for context of this video, and these days what they would charge is £1,200 for labour, which again is extremely decent considering the amount of work that goes into it. There's even like custom fabrications and things. For example, they had to, for my exhaust manifold, they had to extend the lambda sensor and things like the thermostat hose pipe had to be edited as well in order to fit, because the engine is taller, so it's the mounting brackets for that is different. So again, you can't complain. But yeah, that's what I paid there. RDX injectors. Now I'm going to shout out someone who was extremely instrumental and important to my build. Teza, or Teza. I'll put his business and him on the screen now. He is a very reputable breaker. Loads of people in the FN2 community know about him, and he's really good with like getting genuine parts or selling genuine parts and things like that. It's not his main trade, let me be clear. He is not actually a proper breaker. He just comes into cars with very rare parts. That's how I was able to get my CPL exhaust manifold. He was awesome. Big shout out to him. If you're after parts, before you buy new, just ask him if he has any in stock. Honestly, like, I can't praise him enough. Super sound guy as well, you know. So cool. ECU mapping. I paid £850 here. Now let me explain what that comes in with. That's the license. That's the Bluetooth dongle, which is £250, and then essentially for Paul to map it with all of the goodies, right? So the top tier map, which was an amazing deal. I actually thought about getting a second-hand license with the dongle. No, second-hand license. Yeah, second-hand license with the dongle, and then paying for Paul to map it separately. But it didn't work out to be. It just didn't work out to be a good deal. I would have been paying more, about £50 or so more. I just thought, no, it's not worth it. So yeah, that's that. Exhaust manifold. I was meant to say gasket after this, so just for gasket. Now you will need to do your gaskets whilst you're there having this build done. Yeah, let's just be clear. And again, if you want to be thorough with it, you change your exhaust manifold gasket, your head gasket, and your intake manifold gasket. Yeah, you can get these from K24. And I rate K24. I'm not slandering them in any way, shape, or form. Jap service parts, much cheaper. So £16 down there, 17, 34, 30, well, £33, sorry, and then £14. Those are your gaskets. Nothing more, nothing less. Oil, I went with Castrol Edge 5W40. I got 2 bottles because I think I was going to need 6 litres, and 1 litre on 1 bottle is 4 litres. So there, done. That's that. £62. Cam chain tensioner. Now, Tegi was the only place I was going to get these from as well, because ultimately there was no one else that had them in stock at the time, and I was buying a whole load of service stuff at the same time. And also, in case people don't know, Tegor actually do a discount code called Forum25. So if you're like part of like the Facebook forum, so to speak, you can enter that, and I think it's something like, is it 5%, something like that? Which, when you're spending about £300 on service parts or big money, it does add up, right? Every little helps. So yeah, cam chain tensioner, the cam timing chain, and then the engine gasket sealant, just the Honda sealant bond, so that's what you use for the sump, and you know, the rocker cover. When you're putting it back on the rocker cover gasket, seal it so there's no spills. Yeah, Honda coolant, these spark plugs as well. So you can either get the official Honda ones, which are about double the price. I'm not joking, like it's close enough. Or you can get NGK ones that are unbranded or not Honda branded, exactly the same things, better. And you'll need these if you're running bigger power. I don't know if you'd use those if you're just trying to do just the K24 and K20 mate together, but I mean, it is what it is. I spent that, so that's why it's there. Again, genuine oil filter, the CRV, the Honda CRV mounting bracket. Now the reason why you need this is because the mounting bracket on the normal K20 will not work with the mounts for the K24. So this is vital, and it's a solid chunk of metal, right? It's like a little triangle thing. I don't know what I'm doing there, right? Like that, real heavy. You need it. You're gonna need it. There's no other way of putting that. And gearbox oil. So whilst it was up in the air, it just got changed. So cool. And I had my clutch new last year, so that's fine. Oh, and whilst we're on the thing about clutch, I'm running just over 280 horsepower. Standard clutch is fine, absolutely fine. There are people that actually have supercharged FNs or Civics or Hondas, whatever, and they're running the standard clutch as well, fine. So no problems there. And that gives you a grand total of what I paid of £3,149. Now if we were to change the labour to £1,200, you then got £3,549 and 48 pence. Yeah, so cool. Now just for the sake of what I paid, I'll leave that there. Now that is the essentials. Okay, so that's if you want just the block with the K20 on it. And also, I actually forgot, I should have put this at the beginning. This is what would apply to you if you've already got like an inlet manifold, you've already got cams, you've already got an induction kit, you've already got an exhaust manifold and a catback. That's what you would pay ultimately for the K24, for the K24 Frank build, which is great. Like, to me, if you've already done the bolt-ons and you're like, no, I need more, but you still want to stay NA and you don't want to break the bank, I promise you the K24 is ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, especially for the price. You can't knock it. There you go. So anyway, let's go to the next one. Okay, so these are my supporting mods. Now, like I said, supported mods and extras kind of all go together. So in this segment, I'm gonna just put it all as one, all right? I'll interchange between the tabs. So, the CPL Big Bore cold air intake, I bought secondhand with the battery relocation tray, £240, which again, is cool, right? Normally brand new, they're what, 380, or am I wrong, or like 400 something? I don't know, I can't remember, just look it up. But yeah, that's what I paid for the air intake. Again, the RRC I got secondhand through Tesla, dope guy, amazing. I painted it as well, which got cussed out by Honda HQ. Thanks again. I'm gonna keep putting it in there, the shots that you guys sent. But yeah, the RRC inlet manifold, £200. Again, I got from Tesla, amazing. And the CPL exhaust manifold, these are rare. These are actually quite rare. and I got mine secondhand from again Tezza. My one was actually ceramic coated via the previous owner, who had it on a K20 that was running near 260 or something like that, if I remember correctly, right? Oh, you know, something I didn't mention as well, I got the injectors from the same car that he broke from. And again, I got those secondhand for £200. Amazing. And they were £200 as well, actually. Sorry, I forgot to address that. So yeah, I saved quite a bit of money getting these things secondhand, because these could easily be double the price. The CPO exhaust manifold you can't get new anymore, but when they were selling them new, they were about £700, just for context, which is a lot of money. But they were of good quality. So yeah, £300. I put my catback exhaust here because that actually came out of my budget. I was planning on doing it separately, but since I gave myself a deadline to get this done in April, and it came to like January, February, I kept saying I was going to do it, just did it. And again, £900. It's a lot to pay for a custom catback exhaust, but again, if you haven't seen the video of that exhaust, go watch it. It's in my channel. If I can link it, I'll link it in a pop-up or something. But the quality is amazing, and not only that, the customer service and the post-installation support I've had with additions that I've done to it, which again, you guys probably don't know, but I've sent the tailpipe out the back. I'll probably put like a shot of it here. Yeah, again, it's cheap, it's great. Like they're amazing. Again, a whole video on that, go watch it. So water pump, again, the reason why I put this in supported mods and maintenance is because I didn't need to change the water pump, but since the engine's out, why not? It turns out my water pump before was absolutely fine, by the way. Like, it worked absolutely fine. The blades were in good condition, I was told, and I saw it, to be fair, but you know, just thought, I'm there, let me change it. Again, Jap service parts, there to save me some money again, £48.37. Aux belt, again, the car was up, I just thought I'd do it. Cool, awesome. Now those of you are probably looking at this sheet and like, well, why didn't you do the crank pulley? Now the thing is, I've got to be honest, didn't cross my mind. I didn't. And by the time it got raised to me as a properly like a recommended mod, right? Not recommended mod, recommended maintenance change. Man, I was like, oh, I'm too late, I can't get it in time, and I really blew so much. I went so over budget. I did. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I just didn't do it, and it's cheap, so I'll end up doing it at some point. But yeah, I didn't do it. Aux belt, £17, awesome. Of eBay, FD2 oil pump kit. Now I put independent here because I actually bought the oil pump by itself from someone that was taking it off their Rotrex EG. And shout out to him, man, he was amazing. Like, he helped me even sand down the brackets of where it would have fit. Now at the point of me buying the oil pump, you may have mentioned when I revealed what my power plans were, I was actually going to go down the supercharged route. I was going to go down the bottom mount Rotrex route. So it was going to fit onto the bottom of the K20. But with the K24, you had to sand down a bit more of the bracket or something like that for it to fit. Which again is something that goes into the labour of what Under HQ do. And bearing in mind, they did all of this in less than 48 hours. Yeah? So, again, you can't knock it. Yeah, so then I just had to buy the chain, the guides, the pan, and yeah, that's it. I bought the FD2 dipstick, but we actually realized, or I say we, Honda HQ actually realized I couldn't actually use it because the FD2 oil pump, the FD2 dipstick is shorter than even the standard K20 dipstick. I needed the K24 one, the longer block, right? Because the K24 is 2 centimeters taller than the K20, which you'd think is not that big a deal, but even in the engine bay, the engine sits a lot higher. Hence why I broke my windscreen, fitting a new cam cover. And if you haven't seen that, again, I'll just put it on the video, right? Fun. So yeah, that's that explained. Thermostat. Now it's funny, leading up to the build of this car, I started realizing that my thermostat went weird. So if you ever had it in your FN2 where you've got the heat on And when you stand still, it just goes lukewarm, or even if you're driving, it goes lukewarm. It's your thermostat that's going. Because once that got replaced, amazing. And again, I got Jap service parts. I did have a little bit of a scare with it because when I bought it, on the box it said Nissan, and I was like, what? And then there's another sticker on it that's saying it's actually for the K20, K24. Like, okay, and it works, fine. And the thermostat pipe, which the ones on FN2s are prone to rusting because they're exposed to rain because of where they sit on the engine bay. And the guys at 100HQ were like, look, listen, it might be worth buying one of those just to replace it. Because they've seen quite a few where it's like rusted and just completely broken. So I bought one, went to fit it, did that, and as they took my block out and they saw it and they showed me, we all laughed because mine was actually in really good condition. But hey, better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, right? So yeah, anyway, we're now gonna go onto the extras part, and this is where there's kind of, you see why it's related, because you got things like cams, right, and radiator hoses and stuff, right? Those weren't on my list, my original list of supported mods, let me be honest, right? Let me just get into it. Skunk 2 cams, I bought them second hand. Well, I say second hand, I bought them brand new but unused from someone called Mark. Shout out to you, Mark. If you're watching this video, you're amazing. Met him at Mims as well. Real nice, cool guy. And shout out to everyone that I met at Mims. You lot are amazing. Like, I didn't even realize, like, I realized people watch my channel, right? But it was very weird to like have people walk up to me and talk. And look, I welcome it all the time. But anyway, I digress. The Skunk 2 cams, great addition. It's funny because at first I went in to negotiate with him because he had them up for £700. I was like, listen. And everyone was like, I say everyone, my friends that talking to me, yeah, they were like, listen, the head's gonna be out, just do cams. And I was like, oh. I don't want to do it, but I do want to do it. It would be a beast. Oh, it's my daily, I don't need to do it. I'm so glad I did it, let me be honest with you right now, because those cams are serious. Like, they are serious. So yeah, anyway, I went to him and said, look, can you do it for like £500? He's like, no, I can't afford to lose, because these are like brand new, they're about £1,000 or something like that. It's like, I can't afford to lose £300, £400 or whatever. I said, okay, fine. Went away. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. And then again, my friends got onto me. And at this point, I started accruing parts, so second-hand parts. So as I was doing that, I was calculating my budget, and I was like, actually, I've got a little bit of money left over. Do I do it? And then we agreed a deal, and I got it. They're brand new. They were literally brand new, sealed. The boxes were sealed together, everything. Hadn't been touched, hadn't been opened, nothing. So yeah, that was a great deal, and I got that for. Painted cam cover. Now, obviously, the wrinkle covers that come from factory are just trash. Let's just call it what it is. They're painted. Like, the paint is nice, but it's just weak. They flake super easy. So, and I didn't want to put that old cam cover on my build, which is what I eventually ended up doing, because my cam cover chipped in the corner, which, if you haven't seen the K24 build video itself, the time-lapse video, go watch it. So yeah, because I covered it in there. Anyway, so yeah, with that being said, I bought a new cam cover from someone at eBay, Alex. I don't even know if he'll ever see this video, but nah, he was cool about it. Even with the chipped one, got a replacement. The paint, it looks lovely, it's so nice. Yeah, for £150 and £80 back for my old one as well. Great deal, innit? So yeah, then RRC cover paint. So I actually bought an RRC cover because I didn't want to do, loads of people do the fuel rail thing. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted the cover on it. I wanted it to look nice and kind of OEM plus sort of thing. That's what I was shooting for, right? So the RRC cover is actually really rare. They're really rare. and I, again, shout out to Tezza. You're gonna keep hearing him, right? And I'm gonna, at the end of this video, I'm gonna plug everyone that helped me throughout this whole process, because they were amazing. But yeah, Tezza supplied it to me for £100. I then thought I wanted to paint it, but I didn't want to paint it by myself. And even Tezza was like, listen, for something that's rare, you probably want to get professionally painted. So I sent it to the same guy that did the cam cover, £70, gloss black, and it's beautiful. Beautiful. I got B-rolls, I got photos, everything. It's on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, then get at me. It's right there. I plug so many things about my car and then just nonsense anyway. So yeah, cool. So that was that. Radiator hoses. So the radiator hoses that were already there, I'm obviously going to get onto the radiator itself because I replaced it with a Jap Speed one. But yeah, I just thought new radiator, new hoses, nothing else. I tried to get full auxiliary hoses, right? Like the full silicone hose set for the FN2. Couldn't find any in the color that I wanted or the brand that I wanted. Pain, right? But if anything, it kind of saved me quite a bit of money because again, I went over budget. So done. And yeah, the Jap Speed radiator, £229, can't complain. It's a big thing and it's a nice thing. I thought to myself, like, if I'm going to be running extra power, I want cooling to be optimum. I thought about it. My friend Jav actually like told me about it. He was like, look, essentially there, just replace the radiator, and I'm glad I did. The door's open and I don't like wasps, so if you ever see me flinch or looking up in the corners, yeah. Anyway, right, so he was like, just change the radiator, and my current one's still up for sale. I think I already said that. Moving on, and that's that. Now I'm gonna calculate everything that I spent to get my car to where it is now, power wise, and obviously there's some cosmetic stuff in there, but this all came from the same budget of money. Okay, so let me just be real with that. Okay, that's £6,490.23. Yeah, so that's it. As you can probably see, but one thing I didn't mention, okay, during all of this, and this is where I'll stop the screen recording because it's all there, right? You already seen it. There are ways to achieve things if you accrue them part by part, and this is what I did. Like, over time, I had the FD2 oil pump before I even, at first I wanted to go K24 Frank, then I was like, okay, fine, actually let me do supercharge, right? And then I thought, actually no, I want to stay NA because that's the nature of the car and it's still my daily call, all of that. So then K24. So I started accruing parts that I knew could have been applied anyway, like the RRC inlet manifold, the exhaust manifold. I did that over time, and then eventually I was just like, you know what, fine, let me just go for everything. But it is doable. It's 100% doable. I'm not gonna be here. I'm not here sitting trying to like count anyone's pockets or anything like that at all. You do you know what you can afford and things. But should you want to shoot for something, it's worth the time waiting there. And also the biggest key is second-hand parts. If you can get parts second-hand, don't put your nose up at it, sort of thing, right? Like, oh, it's second-hand or whatever. If it's in good condition, it's great, it's usable. I'm telling you, my RRC inlet manifold is second-hand, my exhaust manifold is second-hand. Like, my injectors, my RDX 410 injectors are second-hand, and Paul tested them. The boys at Honda HQ verified them. Like, it's fine, everything's fine, everything's great. Like, there's no problems with it at all, you know. So yeah, and that's ultimately it. I don't think there's anything else I really needed to add. Just want to say before my camera breaks up, I want to thank Tezza, I want to thank my friend John, Jav, Honda HQ, highly, absolutely highly, Paul West for answering my questions and giving me directions on things, especially when it came to like injectors and whatnot. And giving me the heads up that people do actually sell them fake on eBay. That's hilarious. I didn't realize that. I say it's hilarious. It's not funny. It's terrible. But the fact that that's even a thing is crazy. But thank you for telling me. Like, and honestly, like, I bamboozled these people for the whole year. And John and Javi especially, right? They're the reasons why my budget went sky high. I need to thank Lyle as well. If you're watching this video, he's got K24 in Scotland, man. He answered so many questions for me. A guy called Carlos as well. I'm not saying surnames, so these people are not obvious. If you know them, you know them. If you don't, you don't. It is what it is. But no, it's times like this where, like, I really appreciate the car community, especially the FN2 community, because these people didn't have to answer my questions. I'm just like asking these people direct messages out of nowhere, and then they're like answering me in detail, man, and I love it. Like, I appreciate it. I wouldn't have the car and the build that I have without them, I have to be honest. So yeah, shout out to all of them, and yeah, and as they did for me, I will answer any and everyone's questions. There isn't anyone that's asked me a question about my build I haven't told them. I'll end up voice noting you because it's long typing and I can't put my mind into words properly on how I feel about like the build or like recommendations and stuff. So yeah, I'll always help people out that want to help, that want to have it or hear it. So yeah, and that's it. Thank you everyone, by the way, like just all my subs, all the people that comment, all the people that reach out to me, those that follow me on Instagram, those that talk to me on Instagram, those that just, all of you lot that are watching my videos and liking them and whatnot. It's uplifting, and sometimes in a good way, overwhelming, right? And I love it. Like, I appreciate all of you, trust me. And I know you, like, loads of people on YouTube always say that shit. Like, I'm telling you right now, let me be super duper real. It's real. The appreciation is so real. Because I'm literally just a guy like any one of you guys. I'm just being bait with my life and my spending. So yeah, now honestly, I appreciate all of you. And yeah, big things are happening. I can't tell you what they are, but I've got some great plans on the way. And I'm sure all of you guys will love it. Yeah? Take it easy, people. Peace.